Superb. So just let me check in my group and
Okay.
then we can start. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Found it. Mhm. No, this
Yeah,
is
super. We are live. Super. We are live in my group now. So
okay.
yeah, thank you so much for coming like into our PMU growth. So how's your day going?
Pretty good. Thank you for having me. Pretty good.
Super. Great.
How
So
about
uh,
you?
Yeah, my day is going great. It's
Great.
12 a.m. here, so it's 2:30 p.m. Your in your area, and it's 12 a.m. in my area,
12
right?
a.m. Oh wow.
Yeah.
You're up
So
late.
yeah. So can you just give a quick introduction, like what you do, and so that like our audience can know you, know about you, what you do, and what you provide, right? Yeah.
Oh, so a brief introduction of myself.
Yeah.
Okay, sure. So, my name is Sharon. I am a permanent makeup trainer and artist. I am also the co-founder of Black Micropigmentation Association, which is a
Mm-hmm.
nonprofit for women of color or artists in color that's in the permanent makeup industry. I've been doing this for over 5 years. I've been in the beauty industry altogether, probably 15 years. Um, so I've been doing beauty for quite some time, but I fell in love with permanent makeup 5 years ago. And so I've been doing this ever since.
Yeah. So 15 years. It's a like long time, right?
Very long time, yes.
Exactly. Yeah. So so you are currently providing like coaching to who those are like who wants to start their PMU business, or who wants to like scale their PMU business, right? So what exactly you are, yeah, what exactly you are teaching in your coaching business, like coaching program?
So I do train permanent makeup artists, and I help them learn the skill and get into the business. I am transitioning more to helping them develop their business more, and also other beauty pros helping them just start their business. I want to focus my attention on new and developing artists to help them
Mhm.
launch and maintain a successful beauty business,
Yeah, that's
specifically CMU, but not limited to.
okay. That's really helpful for those who are starting out and those who wants to scale their business, right?
Yes.
So you have been doing this like 15 years. So 15 years is like a long time, right? So
Yes.
you have gathered lots of experience and lots of you have seen lots of struggles, ups and downs and everything, right? So
Oh
what
boy,
are the
yeah.
biggest challenges you have been faced when you starting out, and like during your journey, like when you the point that you started and the point now, okay? So what are the biggest challenges you faced, especially when people start anything, like they face lots of things, lots of struggles, right?
Right.
So, what you face when you starting out, and then how you overcome those challenges?
Well, I feel like the biggest thing that I probably struggled with was not having like mentorship or guidance. Someone that, took that would take interest in me, or even if I was, paying for, mentorship, I didn't at the time when I first started, didn't see the value in that. Of course, now I do. And also just staying consistent. That's always a struggle for a lot of entrepreneurs because you have to hold yourself accountable, of course.
Yeah,
You have to show up every day. You don't have,
yeah,
a supervisor or a manager. You don't have anybody that you have to, clock into. So, that's one thing that becomes, I don't want to say it's challenging, but it's something that you have to constantly be aware of. Like, you have to get up and you have to show up every single day and just be consistent.
yeah,
As an entrepreneur or a beauty pro, you're going to have down times when it's slow. So you have to get creative and be resourceful. So those are some of the things that, I have struggled with in the past. Just
Yeah.
preparing for slow periods. Because they're going to come. It's just part of any business. So those are some of the things that I struggle with. So I always tell people you should have a mentor, or someone that has been in the business, or someone that can help hold you accountable and guide you. You should also stay consistent, no matter what, whether it's slow, whether it's busy. Always stay consistent even when it's busy. Don't change how active you are or how proactive you are when it comes to building your clientele.
Mhm. Yeah. So consistency is the like the name of the game is consistency. If you are consistent and if you are like putting out every day and you are showing your face every day, then you are like building relationship, building trust, and then you can build the business, right?
Right.
And this is the age of social media. So
Right.
social media is everything, so you can
Yeah.
like it's a kind of like advantages uh, people should take, like every business should take like it's social media, so we can build our business around it like so easily, right?
Yeah, no. It's not an easy task. And also it's a great tool. And
Yeah,
it's kind of a free resource. You can, do a lot on your own, at no cost with social media, although, ads and stuff are very much so helpful, when it
exactly.
comes to building your business. But just don't rely on social media.
Yeah,
And if you are, use social media to build yourself a email list, and use other resources as well outside of social media. I'm very big on still using business cards, and having that interaction with one-on-one. I know a lot of people don't use business cards anymore, and for a long time I didn't, but I realized it's still good to have, to get that kind of informal marketing. You see people, especially being in the beauty business, I see women every single day, and I'm always interacting with them. So it would make so much sense if I do see someone, or I do get a chance to speak with a woman, hand her my business card. It never, hurts to do that. So
yeah,
also using other tools like, Google, and, having a website. All of those things are extremely important outside of social media to build and maintain a successful business.
exactly. So all things they play specific roles, but they are all important, right?
Very much so, yes.
Exactly. So, what have you learned so far, like from all those mistakes? Like you wish you know before, like before you starting out.
Oh boy, so much. I think one of the things that I have learned, and I'm still like working out the kinks, is just to have systems in place for
Yeah,
your business. Try to automate as much as possible. But on top of, having system in place and having automations, I too still like to have like my own personal touch, and, try to interact with clients. But having systems and automations in place helps you, it takes the load off of you. So that's something that I learned. Um, later than later than I had wish I did. But having system in place is so important. Having automation is so important. Finding the right CRM for your business is very important as well. So all of those things are lessons that I learned kind of the hard way, but I learned them nonetheless. So it's a win at the end of the day.
okay, great. So, you are telling those people who are starting out and like those who are new to this industry, that focus on building that system, right?
Yes,
If you are,
early
yeah,
on.
exactly.
It'll save you a lot of headaches in the end.
So, what do you mean by exactly the system is? Like, what system you exactly were talking about to them? Like lots of people they are not understanding the what is the system about you're talking about, right?
Well, you want to have a system, let's say, for instance, for your marketing, whether you're going to have someone that handles your marketing or you're going to DIY it, you want to have a system in place for that where you are constantly in contact with potential leads and they are automatically, coming to you and you're able to respond, but you have your systems in place where you have funnels and, automations and text messages, and you're constantly communicating with them, and you can have systems in place that will you can link to Facebook and Instagram. So anytime a customer or potential lead is coming through, you are able to speak with them and talk to them, or they're able to connect with what you have to offer, whether it's services or whether it's training. So you need a system in place to be able to communicate with clients and leads effectively. And there's also, customer relations management. So that's booking systems. Even with that, you want to have something that is customer friendly, and it's even a easy or something that is simple interface for you where you are able to learn it quickly and simplify it for yourself. Some systems out there are complicated, some booking systems are complicated. I had one, and it really took me weeks to get onboarding for this particular system, and it was just too much time out of my life, and I was transitioning from one system to another, and it was just the booking system. And I was thinking to myself, it should not take me weeks to get familiar with this booking system. So that was something that was challenging for me, and then I still ended up finding a more simpler booking system. So your booking system, marketing, funnels, all of those things are where you need a system in place so that your business will operate and run smoothly on the back end of it.
Got it. So yeah, system, it takes time,
Yeah,
but in other hand, it like save lot of time of yours in
yeah,
future, right?
yeah,
Yeah. So
yeah,
system is so important.
it
So
does.
yeah, great point. So there are lots of people, they are like thinking about to start PMU industry, like entering PMU industry, and some people they are not getting clients, so they are thinking like I should quit, right?
Mhm.
So what you would like to like tell them? What is the future with the PMU industry?
What is the future for the PMU
Yeah,
industry? Well, I feel like the PMU industry is always evolving. If you are new to the industry or you're thinking about getting into the industry, I still do recommend it. It's so much room for artists. I do feel like the future for PMU is, however, to come into this business knowing how to do color correction, knowing how to do removal, because you're going to come across that. A lot of my students, when I first started, it was, the thing was to get someone who hasn't had permanent makeup before or haven't had their eyebrows microbladed or anything like that. But that's becoming harder and harder. So, what I am doing moving forward is I need to teach my students how to do a color correction at the very least, so that they come across a client who may have had permanent makeup done, they can at least do a color correction. You may even want to invest in learning how to do removal. So I think that is something that will start to be the standard for permanent makeup and microblading courses, is to know how to do color correction or removal or both. I think that is one of the things that's definitely the future for permanent makeup. And of course, styles and trends are always evolving, which is good. But once you get the basic knowledge of permanent makeup, you can always take advanced courses and learn, new techniques and stuff like that, which is really cool.
yeah, got it. So I hope those who are thinking about like quitting, they will get idea, great idea, right?
Right,
So
right. So you
right,
said those who are thinking about quitting or
yeah,
starting. Yeah, no, you can't start. You can't quit. I feel like, You may want to, I am big on mastering one skill before you add others. But if you feel like, you may want to have another service just to get your foot in the door, find a service that will be where you'll be able to easily convert them over to permanent makeup. A lot of people recommend doing henna brows, which is, doesn't cost as much as permanent makeup, and then eventually convert those clients over to PMU clients.
Mhm. Yeah. So, what advice you will give to our new artists who are just starting out, like struggling to build their client list? What advice you want to give them?
To who's struggling to build their clientele?
Yeah, yeah, client list.
I feel like don't get discouraged for one. It happens. It's a part of it. It's a part of, being a new beauty pro or permanent makeup artist. You have to stay consistent. You have to figure out what works for you. Find out what you're good at. I say a lot of times you have to assess what you are actually good at and focus on that. Once or if you're good with customer service and customer relations, and that's your strong point, focus on that. Get out there and start talking to people, and speaking with others to try to help build your clientele and bring people in the door. But my advice is to stay consistent in every aspect of the business. Stay consistent. Show up for yourself. If you feel like you are lacking confidence, find someone or a mentor or someone who can help you and hold you accountable. Find groups or a business partner or I like to say like a PMU bestie. Find yourself someone that's in the PMU industry who you can kind of work with, collaborate with, and, and grow with as an artist. There are a lot of conferences that are coming up in the PMU industry. Attend those conferences so that you can learn and start, trying to build your community of PMU artists that you can grow with as well. So I think those things are important because when I started, I didn't know a lot of PMU artists, and it was just like these gatekeepers who were like closing the door shut and wouldn't allow, new artists in. And I think those days are fading away because we have so many talented new artists, and
Yeah,
it's room for everybody. So I feel like, find your community, find you, someone that you can grow with, like a business partner or someone that you collaborate on, a consistent basis. Attend, the conferences that are popping up throughout the year so that you can, meet new people, learn how to build your business. There are all kinds of things that you can learn from these conferences. And I think that's one of the important things that I didn't feel like was around when I started.
super. Yeah, got it. So, what do you give them some advice like how they can lots of people they are thinking how we can stand out from our competition market, like there are lots of artists, there are lots of people, they are just like giving the same service, so
Right.
how, yeah, so how I can make, yeah,
Yeah, no, I feel like that's a good question. So it's difficult because, especially mostly everybody does brows. And all you do is see all day long are brow pics. So, if you're using social media, of course, find ways to get creative with social media, and find out what works for you because everyone is different. Like, I don't like doing lives, although I'm doing one now. And that's something that I need to work on. So I'm glad that I'm doing it. So, if you feel more comfortable doing lives, focus on that. If you feel more comfortable, posting reels, find out what is your jam, so get creative with your reels, show up as the authentic you, like don't try to do what everybody else is doing, find ways to be different. Um, and I think that another thing is actually show up you as a person, because that's what's going to be different. Let people, and that was something that I want to, go back to. That it was something that I struggle with, like letting people, because we are, most of us are small business owners. So it's not like we have the budget like corporations to put these elaborate social media marketing ads and campaigns together. So as much as you may hear this like, oh, you have to brand yourself and don't be the face of your business, but as a small business owner, you kind of have to, I believe. So let them see you, let them see who you are. You don't have to tell your personal business or anything like, but let them get glimmers of you. If you're talking, just candidly, do that, whatever you feel like works for you, but show up and show them who you are, because then that might attract them to you a little bit more. You don't have to get too personal, but you want them to see some of your personality. So I feel like that may be a great way to stand out, because everybody's going to post brows and their before and after pictures. We're going to see thousands and thousands of before and after pictures. So once you do so many of those, like, what else are you going to show them? You can show them your salon, but everybody shows their salon. I mean, great, it's part of, the aesthetics for your social media page. But the thing that is missing for a lot of us, and myself included, once upon a time, was, a little bit of who I am. So I feel like if you show a little bit who you are, then that's what's going to set you apart from everyone else.
Exactly, the real you, right?
Hmm.
So that, yeah, when you show the real you, then people will start connecting with you, right? They can relate with you, like, oh, this person is like me, and then
Hmm.
yeah, I can relate with her,
Yes.
and then trust builds, and then when trust builds, relationship builds, then sales
Right.
automatically flows up, right?
Yes. Yeah.
Great.
That's it.
Yeah. So actually, my next question was is what three advice you would like to give to our new PMU owners or artists as a coach?
Okay. You said free or three?
Three, yeah,
Three.
three
Three tips.
most important advice.
Most
Okay.
important advice. Perfect your craft. This is for PMU artists, right? Perfect your
Yeah,
craft.
yeah,
You want to always work on, you know, being the best PMU artist you can possibly be. Because we're in the beauty industry, and especially with permanent makeup, if you're doing brows,
mhm,
people are looking for perfection, although that doesn't exist.
mhm,
However, you want to give them the best set of brows that you can possibly give them. So always work towards perfecting your craft. That's very important.
yeah,
Customer service goes a long way. Word of mouth and great customer service. I can't tell you, a lot of my business in my beginning years were through customers. And because I gave great customer service, they gave me word of mouth marketing.
yeah.
So that is something that is very important. And last, three tips. I had one more and I just lost my thought. Customer service and word of mouth. Oh, the last one is when you provide the service, make sure you get a review from your clients. Work on reviews and testimonials from your clients so that you can use them for marketing. So that is very important. Don't be afraid to, reach out to them after they've had their brows done, see how their brows are healing, or whatever permanent makeup service you're offering them. See how their brows are healing, and you want to say, hey, you're happy with the service. Can you please, leave me a review? And you send them the link. I think that's very important.
Exactly. So social media is all about social proofs, right?
Yes,
So social proof is everything. If you have social proof, then uh, you can
absolutely.
make as much as money you can
Yeah.
possibly, right? Okay. So if there is anything you want to share, then I don't have any question for you right now. If you
Okay.
want to share, yeah, if you want to share something like with your wholehearted, then you can share some points, and then we can end this podcast. Okay.
Sure. Just stay consistent. Don't give up. Don't get discouraged. If you do, just, pick back up the next day, give yourself some time to, regroup. I feel like make sure as an artist, we're so hard on ourselves. Self-care is very important. But stay focused, stay in the game, don't give up. It can be challenging at times, but that's a part of the business. I honestly love what I do. So, and I love being able to transfer positive energy to my clients. And that's why I got into this industry. So,
Yeah,
don't do it just for the money. The money is good, the money will come, but
yeah.
you want to, really find passion and love in what you do. This is an industry, that can consume a lot of your time. So you want to make sure you're in it for the right reasons. The money will come. Just be patient, be consistent, and find love in it.
Superb, superb, superb. Great. So this is what you need in every business, in everything you do, right? Just
Yes,
find just love what you do, right? Just
yes,
love what you do. Yeah, and money will come. Money is byproduct. Money is always byproduct, right?
yes,
So you just give your best and stay consistent. Money will come to you consistent in a consistent basis, right? That's great.
yeah,
So
absolutely.
yeah, great. So thank you so much, Sharon,
Of
for coming
course.
in PMU Growth show, and you really shared lots of golden nuggets. And I hope our uh, members in our group, they got lots of value, and they learned so much thing, so many things from you, and they definitely will apply, and they will grow their business in 2020,
Yes, I
right?
hope so. We're all trying to grow our business and take it to the next level, 2022 to 2023. So, yeah, thank you for having me. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, so someone just comment commented that this was great. Thank you both. Yeah, uh, thank you so much,
You're
Sharon, once
welcome.
again. Yeah, you are welcome. So thank you so much, Sharon, once again, for sharing all of the tips, and thank you so much for your time
You're
and
welcome.
everything. Okay, yeah, super. So that's it for today, guys. I will bring uh, lots of value in my next videos. Okay,
All
so
right.
stay tuned and stay consistent and stay focused. Right? Yeah.
Thank
So
you.
yeah,
Bye
thank
bye.
you. Yeah. Bye bye.